So now in this video, I need to address a problem with the last video. The main thing being that I applied 5 volts to this motor when this motor is really only a 3 volt or less motor. So the seller says 1.5 to 3 volts. For some reason I was thinking it was rated for 6 volts. I don't know for sure that it is damaged, but it's the one that I put too much voltage across, and so just in case I wrote damaged on there. But in any case, we're going to come to the main point that I was trying to make in the last video on one thing. So I was trying to slow it down by lowering the voltage. I didn't realize it's because I was pushing it too hard. But in any case, this resistor is to the negative rail there because we need current going through these rectifier diodes to see how much voltage they are dropping from the power supply. So it is a 5 volt power supply, and it's looking a little bit less because you got some resistance through the wires and whatnot. But in any case, we come over here. So that one's dropping a little more than 0.7 volts, and or about 0.7 volts I should say. And there again, we're about 0.7 volts even more lower than the supply voltage. And we come over here, and there you can see now that we dropped, looks like about 2.2 volts approximately, which we kind of expect. Again, you need that current flowing through it to see how much it's dropping, or else it will still drop some voltage there, but you're getting a little leakage and stuff. It's looking at that, so it doesn't look like the meter doesn't really let any current through it, just a very, very tiny amount, and that's not enough to get the voltage drops build up there. So I'll put the resistor there. So we already looked, we had the 5 volt supply there, so that's the current mostly going through those diodes and the resistor. And then also I have all the circuitry from the last video for the most part on there. Now we looked at, we can drop the voltage with that. So I have these alligator clips with, they are crimped onto jumpers, I should say, so that I can power the motor. And as I said before, it should be about 3 volts. So what I'm going to do is plug the black clip, the blue jumper, to the negative rail, and then try not to have it touch any metal. We're going to come right here. I can remove the resistor if I want, but I don't need to. Compared to the motor, the resistor is tons of resistance. It's not really going to change things much, and it will even protect the resistor a little bit. A little less current will go through it, and because it also has to go through the diodes there. So we have the black one on there. We'll zoom back and look at how much current we're going to have go through here. So this was a problem in the last video too. So there you can see it's about 0.5 amps, which that is fine. These rectifier diodes, I didn't address this in the last video, they're rated for 1 amp or less. That's the maximum current. These 1N4001. So there's rectifier diodes that can handle higher current, but that's what those are rated for. And so this didn't look too bad there, but you're going to notice that when I attach the fan, so I did this at first in the video. So already in the other video I only used 1 diode. We didn't drop enough voltage. That was the main problem. And also I applied it directly to the rail, I believed. And so I put 5 volts on there, so maybe it's damaged. Now I also took the fan, and when I did that, the reason why I have this up to 3 amps was because I was getting really close to 3 amps. And so I had to raise the limit until it would provide that current. As I said before, these should only have 1 amp going through them. I had, for a brief period of time, I think, almost 3 amps of current going through one of them. But in any case, you put the fan on there, and you can see we just hit that 1 amp. So for some reason, with the fan on there, current goes up. And so people that understand motors a lot better would probably know exactly why. But for some reason, it looks like the harder it's working, the more current is going through there. The easier it can spin, it looks like there's probably less current going through there. But in any case, that's something that I needed to address, and we'll get these out so we don't short circuit anything, is that this was actually only a 3 volt maximum motor, and the seller said 1.5 to 3 volts. So the diodes, we already looked at the drops. That's a real simple way. There's also voltage regulators and whatnot. Before, I was using this power supply, which has a 3.3 volt setting there. But we can just take a few diodes and drop the supply voltage. The reason why, I can set this to 3 volts, whatever, 1 volt, whatever I want, up to its maximum voltage setting. I think 0.3 is the lowest, but in any case, I can set it to what I want. But the last circuit I had, we have an integrated circuit here that really wants 5 volts, and so at least according to the data sheet. I didn't test out its limits, but the voltage range for this particular one, the 74HC08, it's a quad AND gate, is really 5 volts. They show you can go a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but it really likes that. Some other ones have some more range and whatnot. So I really wanted to keep the supply 5 volts for that. Just drop some with the diodes. Really easy to do, as you can see here, but I didn't go far enough. So just want to make sure I covered all that ground. I really don't want to delete the video because this is a bad mistake to put too much voltage, make a circuit putting too much voltage across something you used, but it's not end of the world. Otherwise, I think the video turned out pretty okay. So I'm not planning on deleting it. I did write a note at the top of the comment section, since YouTube won't let me put writing on it after I upload it. Warning that this motor is not a 5 volt motor. But in any case, hopefully you enjoyed that video, and you don't make that mistake. And that's something you got to do with all my videos, everybody's videos. Whenever they show you something, always also look at the data sheet, what the seller says, and something. There's a mistake in probably everybody's videos, and they may not catch it or whatnot, and it's hard to get rid of every single mistake. So make sure you check out the data sheets, the seller information, and everything. Don't just say somebody else built that so it works. I'm going to build it exactly like they did. Do your research. But in any case, that happens. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out one of the other videos. Make sure you click like, subscribe, the bell, and all that. I will see you in the next video.